for being here. So you said you do not personally yourself keep the Sabbath. Is that right?
I don't keep the Sabbath, no.
Why not follow Jesus?
I do follow Jesus. Is my understanding that Jesus kept the law of Moses as a first covenant Jewish man who had come to be the Messiah, to not break the law, but to fulfill the law, to fulfill it with love. The new covenant, which was brought in through Jesus, as you've stated, was brought in on the cross when Jesus died and was resurrected. It was his blood that brought in the new covenant. Before that, Jesus kept the law.
Should Jewish Christians, so people who are of Jewish descent by blood, today, should they continue to keep the Sabbath?
No,
Again, why not? If Jesus was a Jew and he was under
because
the law
Jesus,
of Moses.
Jesus, we now follow the law of Jesus. We follow the new covenant that Jesus brought in, which you correctly have stated. The new covenant would be brought in through the Messiah, that there would be a new covenant, that the law of Moses would pass away. But as you've also stated, that the law was nailed to the cross, and it was on the cross that Jesus basically did away with the Old Testament law. We're not dealing with whether we have to keep the law today. The argument or the debate is, did Jesus break the Sabbath?
If Jesus, then let's go back to Jesus before the cross. So
Yeah.
he's subject to the Sabbath. He's keeping the Sabbath, Jesus.
Yes.
So why did he say, I am Lord of the Sabbath? As I understand that statement, as I said, that means Lord. The word Lord, as we know, means master of, boss of, if you will.
Mhm.
So why did Jesus say, listen, I'm Lord of the Sabbath?
Because the Sabbath was given to man as a day of rest. It was a blessing. Isaiah 58:13 states that the Sabbath was meant to be a delight, and the Sabbath was given to man to be for man, not the other way around. And so, because Jesus is the Lord of everything, he's been given the power over everything. He's also been given the power over the Sabbath as.
So we agree Jesus was given lordship or power, as he put it, over the Sabbath day.
Yeah.
So, but Jesus did not have the power, or I would say the authority, to either work or not work on the Sabbath.
I wouldn't argue whether Jesus had the authority to work on the Sabbath and other people were not. That wouldn't be my argument. Whether Jesus had authority to work on the Sabbath through being given by his Father, by being the Lord of the Sabbath, that wouldn't be something that I would need to argue. My argument would be that Jesus literally stated that it was lawful. His argument was not, I have been given authority to break the Sabbath or to do things on the Sabbath which are not lawful. His argument was that what he did on the Sabbath was lawful.
Where does the law of Moses say it was lawful to break the Sabbath for what you call good
Okay,
works or
I've
things like that?
stated I stated in my opening the law, where basically Jesus quotes the law, or he asserts to the law by stating to the Pharisees, which of you would not help a sheep on the Sabbath day? And he literally he states on the Sabbath day, which one of you would not help a sheep? Jesus is going back to the law, where we are told that on the Sabbath day they were meant to help the animals that were in need.
Right.
And Jesus then states, which one of you would not help a sheep? And
Right.
then his argument was that humans are more important than an animal. Now, you want a statement that states it was lawful to do good upon the Sabbath.
I'll ask you about Numbers 15. So a
Mm-hmm.
man is killed for gathering wood. We're not told the reason.
We're not told the reason.
Could that work? Could what that man had been doing at that time, could that have been for quote good reasons, like I said, to keep warm or to even cook, or maybe for the animals in the barn? Is
Well,
that a possibility?
you're asking me to speculate on what
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that a
Well,
possibility?
as we're not told, it's just as possible that he was actually doing that as part of his work. So
like building a house.
we don't know the
Right.
reason why
Okay.
or what the sticks were. So
When
we can't speculate on.
let's go back to John 5:17. My Father is always at his work to this very day, and I too am working. The day there is the Sabbath. Do you agree? He's
Hmm.
working on the Sabbath, Jesus.
Yeah,
Jesus doesn't go on to specify that, oh, listen, no, don't get me wrong. I'm obeying the Sabbath. I'm just doing good works. He's working on the Sabbath. And then in John 5:18, John reports that for that reason, for working on the Sabbath, Jesus was breaking the Sabbath. What does that mean to you when John
okay.
says, well, Jesus was breaking the Sabbath?
Yeah, John is reporting what the Pharisees had basically
Sorry, I'm sorry,
stipulated.
LJ. Let me rephrase the question. Sorry. If Jesus is not really breaking the Sabbath,
Yeah,
as you are asserting, why did John say Jesus was breaking the Sabbath, and why did Jesus himself say, I'm working on the Sabbath? Sorry.
because again, I believe that John is reporting what is being accused of Jesus, and he's just extrapolating what was being stated.
Do you agree that Jesus got rid of the law of divorce introduced by Moses in Matthew 19?
I believe that Jesus was stating that that is what he desired, and that when the law, when the new covenant came in, that is what we were to follow.
Do you agree that Jesus abolished the food laws in Mark 7?
No, I don't
No.
believe that Jesus abolished it. I believe that Jesus correctly that he explained the food laws.
Okay. When Jesus says in Mark 7:15 that nothing that enters you
Hmm.
from the outside can defile you, can
Yeah,
make you unclean,
yeah,
is he referring to food there?
yes.
Yes. So Jesus is saying that no food makes you unclean or unholy
Hmm.
towards God at that point.
Fully agree.
So you agree?
Hmm.
And that's not breaking the food laws?
No.
Luke 16:16 says that the law and the prophets were until John the Baptist, as you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah,
If the law was until John, in other words, until John the Baptist showed up, why would any of the old covenant laws, like the Sabbath, apply to Jesus? It sounds
because
like the until is a sort of, up to this point, and then afterwards it's
well,
something.
if you want to argue that, then you could just basically state that once Jesus was born, the the whole law was then null and void. If you're gonna argue that it's at that point, we have plenty of verses that refer to, as you've alluded to, the law being nailed to the cross. And Jesus literally states to his disciples at the Last Supper that this is the blood, this is my body, this is the blood of the new covenant. So it is the blood that is the new covenant. It is when Jesus dies that brings in that new covenant. So up until that point that Jesus dies, we are old covenant, and after that we are new covenant.
Can I clear something up? You seem to be saying that you cannot do your job on the Sabbath, but you could do other things, other jobs on the Sabbath, other work.
What
Is that right?
what are you classified as a job?
Oh, the healing, taking
Is, is
helping the donkey out of the ditch, as you
is that a job, or is that just a requirement of law?
right. So you can do certain work on the Sabbath that
What?
you deem good, but
Yeah,
not other work.
yeah, because Jesus
Right.
literally states that you can do
So
good
so
upon the
let me
Sabbath.
let me give you a hypothetical. If I'm picking up sticks, picking up wood in the forest to build my house, winter is coming, would you accuse me of breaking the Sabbath?
Of picking up sticks to build a house,
Yeah,
would that be your job?
right. Would I be breaking the Sabbath?
I On that basis, I wouldn't be able to answer that. It depends
It
on what you're classifying as a job. Are you doing good works for
where
someone else?
where are the words of the new covenant? Where do you find the words of the new covenant law that we have been discussing?
1 John 3:23. These are this is the law of the new covenant.
Right, but where, for example, when Moses spoke to the people, right,
Mm-hmm.
it says they were the words of the covenant.
Yeah.
Where do we find the words of the new covenant of what Paul goes on to call the law of Messiah? Where do we find those words,
Okay.
those
1
laws?
John 3:23 is the new law.